All right, we are ready to install our rocker arms and push rods now on the passenger side. So we're going to start with this little bracket, and there is a correct and wrong way to put that on the head. There is a little tiny increase dent, whatever you want to call that, slot for the actual valve cover guides. So we're going to make sure that side's facing down and this side will be facing up. I mean, I don't think it fits exactly snug anyways. So, as you can see, right there's a slot for the valve cover, and it's cut out perfectly for that. Otherwise, if you have it that way, it will not fit. So, first thing we do is get that guy, set that in place. And then we'll grab our push rods, and you can kind of see a hole back in there. Push rods will drop right down in there onto the top of the lifters, and then we'll install the rocker cap with the nut, and I'll show you how to torque those down. So come back over here. I have them in order the way they came out of the engine, so the front to the back. So we're going to start with this very first rod, get that in place. The ends are both the same. There's a little oil passage on top, so it doesn't really matter how it goes in, but I'm going to put it in the exact way it came out. So this top piece kind of lines in with that little guide spot there. It's rounded, but either way. So we're going to start with the first one. Since these guys go right on top of the lifter, it's metal to metal contact. I have some oil here. I'm just going to dip the end, and then we're going to go straight for that hole. And right now it's kind of up in the air because those lifters are in that tray, so we can push it down like that, and then yeah, it pushes straight down on the lifter. So I'll do that for the rest of them, and then I'll show you how to throw on the rocker arms themselves. Now I got all those push rods installed with that bracket, so now we're time to put the rocker arms in. So that little rounded spot's going to go right on top of that push rod, and this flat spot is going to go right on top of the valve, and then that bolt goes right in the center of the bracket. So get her on there, and we are going to just hand tighten every single one of these until we get all of them on. All right, now I have all the rocker arms in. I did take my wrench and tighten them just so they're snug. They're not actually torqued to anything yet. Our next sequence of things is to torque them down to one pass at 22 foot-pounds with the spring uncompressed, so there's no tension on there. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll rotate the crank another like 360, one or two turns, kind of give everything a good run around, and then we'll go again and do another 22, make sure they're all snug. So 2 passes at 22. The first one we're going to do decompress springs, and then we'll rotate the crank a couple times, and then we'll go again, make sure they're all 22, and then we're good to go. So I'll show you how to do that. I have this 24mm socket, and we got the crank bolt right down there, and I'm just going to rotate it until the crank pushes up on the lifter and pushes or uncompresses the spring. I'll give it a couple rotations and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so now I'm going to start rotating it, and you'll see those rockers start to move. You can see it's decompressing right now. And now it's starting to come back up. I'll wait till it comes all the way up so the least amount of tension's on there, like right now. So now I can actually tighten that bolt to 22 foot-pounds, and I'm going to keep doing that for each and every single one. I'll tighten it down to 22 foot-pounds when it's decompressed, and then yeah, I'll rotate the crank a couple more times and then make sure it's still 22, and then we're ready to install the valve cover. So all right, so we have the first spring decompressed, and we're ready to torque our first bolt to 22 foot-pounds. That is going to be an 8mm bolt. So we got 8mm on our torque wrench, and then we're going to set this to 22. Turn it on. It's at 25 right now. All right, set to 22. So it's going to start beeping when I get close, and then I'll have a steady tone as soon as I actually hit the 22 mark. And I'll show you guys. So live action. You're at 13. Oh, there we go. First one done. Now we got to do the rest. All right, just got done torquing them all down to 22 with the spring decompressed. Now I'm going to give it a couple rotations and then do a final pass of 22. Make sure everything's good so I can put the cover on and call it done. So I'll spin her. All right. Cool. Good to go.